All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today we have two things to talk about. First thing, Paddy Pimblett, he just did an interview where a lot of fans are criticizing him, saying that it sounds like he's ducking Arman Tsarukyan. But I don't know, I guess you can interpret it how you want. So this is his quote. I'm hoping to fight in Abu Dhabi in October. I think that it's more than likely Justin Gaethje. No one cares about Arman Tsarukyan, and people actually want to watch Gaethje fight. People know it'll be an exciting fight, me versus Gaethje. Tsarukyan, he's an absolute tool, lad. And yeah, to me, like I said, I don't know if he's ducking Arman, but if I'm Paddy, I'm choosing the smartest way to the belt. Because Arman Tsarukyan, he's a lot more complete than Justin Gaethje. I feel like Gaethje probably has a bit more power in his hands, but at this point, Gaethje has so much miles on his odometer that I don't know if it'll be enough, because that's the thing. Chandler had a bunch of power too, but you see what Paddy did to him. And obviously, Gaethje is much more superior to Michael Chandler, but still, I think at this point in Gaethje's career, I don't trust him to beat Paddy Pimblett, which is crazy saying that. Like, imagine you said that to someone like 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, the tides have turned, and the new generation's coming up. And it just, to me, I feel like Paddy and Tsarukyan, depending on who gets the belt next, like, I feel like if Topuria wins, obviously he's going to want to fight the next best guy, but I don't know if he's going to want to fight Tsarukyan. I feel like Tsarukyan, they're still punishing him for some reason. The UFC is just, I get why they're mad, but like, come on, you guys got to give it up. So I was thinking, damn, if Gaethje and Paddy get booked, because if you look at the rankings here, so just 1 second. If Gaethje and Paddy get booked, I'm like, okay, then who's Arman going to fight? You know what I mean? Because I get Arman's not the biggest name, and he's not known as well with the casuals. Like, a lot of the hardcores know who Arman is, and that's who a lot of people are, like, the hardcore community are getting angry at this. But I'm like, okay, who could Arman fight then? Because 4 and 5, Holloway and Dustin Poirier, they're being booked, obviously. And then Oliveira's getting the title shot. Gaethje's number 3. I'm thinking, okay, he turned down Mateusz Gamrot, and that probably really pissed off the UFC, because the UFC hates when people turn down fights. But saying that, I'm like, okay, number 6 is Dan Hooker. And if you don't remember, they had some heat back and forth, and I think Dan Hooker was asked about him. He's like, oh, fucking hike the cat. And Tsarukyan, because he was going off on Dan Hooker, saying like he doesn't respect his skill set and all that. I'm pretty sure it was on Twitter. I don't think it was in a post-fight press conference. I think, yeah, it was on Twitter or something. And they went back and forth as well. And I feel like as much as Arman Tsarukyan is a highly, highly, highly risky fight, Dan Hooker will probably accept that fight simply because Arman has that number 1 next to his name. I feel like that's Arman's saving grace. As much as Paddy's probably not going to want to fight him immediately, but their paths will definitely cross, especially if either one of them gets the title shot and wins the belt. But yeah, I feel like Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker, depending on how quick his hand surgery can heal, because he's had the procedure done and you see this giant gash in his hand. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how long it's going to take, because I remember Arman, he was on a podcast saying that he wants to return before October because he doesn't want to be that inactive. But I don't know, man. It's just, it's frustrating because Arman's clearly ready to go. You see him on, he's often on like the Jackson podcast, and I think they have like some gym that they train there as well. And they say that he's in the gym all the time. Like, he's so hungry, he's ready to fight. And it's just real unfortunate because, and I get people are like, well, he had his shot. He could have become champion if he actually fought that night. But you don't want to go against the pound for pound number 1 fighter in the world injured. You know what I'm saying? So I get why Arman pulled out. But yeah, it's just unfortunate because the UFC seems to take those things very personally. So, and that's the thing. If he turned down Gamrot, I don't know if they're going to give him Dan Hooker. I hope they do, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then next on the news, the Petr Yan just got announced, and he's fighting Marcus Mcghee. And I'm like, what? Like it's just, to me, it makes no sense. Because think about it. Everyone and their dog was saying that Petr Yan should be fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. And that's, to me, is a no-brainer. And Umar just recently said that he's ready to fight in October in Abu Dhabi. And if I'm Peter Yan, I'm pretty sure the Marcus Mcghee fight was scheduled for July. I'm pretty sure. If I'm Peter Yan, I'm waiting because Umar's number 3, Marcus Mcghee, he's number 13. And people are saying, well, he went down and fought O'Malley. That's fine, but like Marcus Mcghee isn't exactly an upcoming star. He doesn't really have that much of a name right now. And it's just like, sure, he's on a 3-fight win streak, but like he's 35. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's say he wins, right? Peter Yan wins, which I'm assuming will happen. That doesn't really do much for his case for the title shot, right? And I don't know. It's just, I get Peter Yan wants to stay busy, but if I'm him, I would have stayed patient because people are saying that Corey Sandhagen's calling for the next title shot, and you see in a bunch of interviews he is, and I think I think he probably should get the next title shot because it'll be the only unique matchup in the top 5 that Merab hasn't fought yet. But that's the thing, though. Let's say Umar and Peter Yan fought, and let's say Merab gets injured or something, right? And he can't return as quick as he wanted to. If Peter Yan like knocks out Umar Nurmagomedov or even gets a good decision over him, he could easily be next over Corey Sandhagen. Plus, he could say that he beat Corey Sandhagen. Because I'm pretty sure Peter Yan, after Corey beat Davison, he's like, let's fight to figure out the number 1 contender. And Corey Sandhagen's like, nah, not yet. I want to get my title shot, then we can fight. Because I seen him on a podcast as well where he was like, the guy was like, man, let's say you win the title against Merab, Peter Yan could be your first title defense. He's like, yeah, sure, that'd be sick. But yeah, I just don't think Corey would want to risk his spot against Peter Yan right now because it is a nightmare matchup. Because if you've seen their first fight, and I get Corey's improved and all that, but Peter Yan is a very, very dangerous matchup for Corey Sandhagen. So yeah, if I was him, I'd avoid that until at least I get the belt. So then, you can have the guaranteed 5 rounds and more experience in your pocket as well. But yeah, no, I just, especially like I said, I'm assuming that Peter Yan's going to win because he's obviously the better fighter than Marcus Mcghee. But if Peter Yan loses, in hindsight, this might be one of the dumbest decisions of 2025 by far. Because, like I said, Marcus Mcghee, he's like ranked number 13. And not only that, I think because Marlon Vera, he pulled out of his fight against, Mario Batista. And depending on how big or serious the injury is and the recovery for Marlon, I feel like Peter Yan could have fought him instead as well. Like, because Chito Vera, he's number 7. And I don't know, I just really don't like this. I'll give Peter Yan all the respect in the world. Like, that's the thing, no doubt. It's really honorable what he's doing by giving Marcus Mcghee a chance to come up in the rankings. But I don't know. I don't think it's the right move. Because not only that, he could fight Cejudo. You know what I mean? Because Cejudo's number 9 as well. And Cejudo wants to fight one more time. So Peter Yan could have added a former champion. And I know Cejudo's on a 3-fight losing streak or whatever, but still, from the rankings perspective, a win over him would mean a lot more than Marcus Mcghee. So I don't know. It is what it is. Like I said, if I'm Peter Yan, and not only that, the taxes I'm pretty sure are a lot better in Abu Dhabi. So if Peter Yan wanted to wait and fight there, I don't know. I guess he's impatient and he just doesn't want to sit out for a long time, which makes sense because, let's take a look. When was Peter Yan's last fight? He last fought in November of 2024. Okay, I guess it makes sense. Like, especially if he's not injured, he wants to return. But I don't know. If I was him, I would have waited a bit longer to get a higher level fight. But what do I know? And I hope Peter wins because I really like his style. I think he's really good. I don't know if he can beat Merab considering that takedown. Like, Merab, I think he landed 50 takedowns. So it is what it is. Obviously, you can improve, and Peter Yan's not old, but I don't know. It's just, yeah, Peter Yan's only 32. So yeah, he has time to improve, but still, I don't know. I don't know who's going to get Merab out of there. I feel like people are saying Corey Sandhagen could, but I don't know. I feel like Corey Sandhagen could land some flying knees and all that, and his wrestling's improved, but I Like all Merab's opponents, I feel like, he'll drown him in the end of the fight. Like, rounds 3, 4, 5, he'll start picking up the pace, takedown, takedown, takedown. And I don't think anyone has the cardio to match Merab. I feel like the only person who could have beaten Merab is Umar, and Umar lost. I think if they did a rematch and Umar prepared a bit better, and now that he knows what he needs to work on, I feel like he'll probably win. But it'll be a close decision. But aside from that, I really don't know who's going to beat Merab. So, yeah, good luck to Petr Yan. And, yeah, we'll see what's next for everybody. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.